PlayStation Home was officially revealed during Sony's 2007 GDC keynote. The former president of SCE Worldwide Studios, Phil Harrison, championed the project for years internally and was the one who got to pull the curtain off of Sony's new social network service. And in doing that, they showed off a new beta version live on stage, with all the quirks and hiccups included in what was a live presentation.
Okay, so we should have some video behind us. Let's try that one more time, shall we? Okay. Can we bring up the PlayStation 3, please? Machine 4. Okay, we changed controllers. Thank you very much. Sorry for that.
This version of Home, with the original apartment, plaza, game room, movie theater, and trophy room, is something that most of the public never actually got. By the time Home went into an open beta, the spaces looked much different. They also removed the virtual PSP, which would have been used for navigating around the world and accessing certain menu options. Years later, after Home was shut down, various versions of the service have been brought back online, restored, archived from groups like Destination Home, Home Headquarters, and Home Laboratory. But the original 0.41 GDC build was only ever accessible as an offline client until very recently, back online from Home Laboratory. There's still no trophy room, I'm afraid, but it was high time I finally launched the original GDC build to explore it for the very first time. Alright, we're in. Welcome to PlayStation Home Open Beta. Head over to the new Resident Evil 5 studio space. Lot space. Oh, this is going to be so trippy to see this. So I've had the offline build installed for a long time. Never got around to actually launching it. And now we're into our space here, our default space, which already has a lot of nice little things set up for us. And it's already super trippy seeing what is, first off, a build that runs at 1080p. So much sharper than the PlayStation Home everyone else eventually got. And also because the standard harbor studio that everyone is familiar with, where you look out to the boats and everything, that's what everybody got. This, however, you got more of a sort of mountainside view, lakeside view. Already a little iffy on this frame rate, but it's all right. We do have a Killzone poster here, which I love seeing that. And this is the old, slightly different UI for picking out. Oh, well, hold on. Oh, daddy-o. I'm already loving this so much. Oh, man. This runs like crap, too. It's weird how it's so much sharper. Yeah, I got movie posters over here. And The Grudge 2. It's already, like, so strange walking throughout this apartment. Like, because obviously many of these things made it into the final build, structurally and design-wise, but broadly speaking, this is still very different. This is the Home GDC beta. Now, I was told that videos might only play the first time, but not anything after that. Ooh. Oh, this 2008 ad is so good. This is one of my favorite ads. Good evening. This is where PlayStation 3 sort of felt like it was coming into its own. Before 2009, where that's arguably the actual year that PS3 really found its strides. But if you were playing back then, you remember that 2008 was also very optimistic for everything you're seeing right now. And this, I thought, was a really cool ad campaign before PS3 Slim came to the scene. But I still prefer that old hardware design, the PS3 Fat. Still heavily pushing. There you go. That was the old GDC beta. So that's all the footage they were showing back then. And then the old PlayStation Store as well. PlayStation Network, all capitalized. Or rather, PlayStation was capitalized. That was also a little quirk. See, that was still like the very end of the Play Beyond campaign. $3.99, PS2 compatibility taken out. And you have that old Spider-Man meta font. Oh, we're getting some, oh my god, early Play Beyond ad campaigns baked into this daddy-o. Ooh. Oh, I can sit down. I gotta sit down. Oh, geez. There we go. Which ad was... Oh, this is the that famous commercial where Sony dropped a bunch of... what the hell were they? Like rubber band balls or something down that street in San Francisco? And then people, like, years later are still finding these things. Or they were still finding them. I guess they're all mostly discovered now. Now, the other cool thing is we have the virtual PSP. And, man, it is really cool seeing the virtual PSP with our XMB. Oh, my God, it's so sweet looking through this. First time at home, character customization. Yeah, we'll do that. Response parse errors. Yeah, everything is not going to work. Exactly. Wallpaper. There we go. I was going to say, is the resistance one is in there. Oh, we're getting more of the Play Beyond ad campaign in the background. Oh, I'm having a moment here, folks. Yeah, that was cool art. Panels. Teen Dream. Yo, check out these horses, though. Move furniture. Okay, so you just like toggle through these one by one. Add furniture. Alright, so we've got radio, picture frame, a gothic chair, Bravia LCD television. So this is like the other thing, right? Like obviously Sony was trying to do a lot of cross promotion, and you always had those goofy moments during that GDC demo where like Phil Harrison's like, oh yeah, and the great thing is you can drop a TV down the stairs. He's like, look at our products, they're still working.
And of course, being that this is a real physics-based world, we can move the TV around and do what you've always wanted to do, which is to throw a TV down the stairs. And now you can see that just like in the real world, in the virtual world, your Sony Bravia is a very reliable device indeed.
All right, we can go down the stairs here. Still have a great view. And we're going to leave. Oh my god, look at that. Ridge Racer 7 in the background. Getting real close to my face. Feel a little bit uncomfortable. Gran Turismo HD. Here it is. We are in the original GDC, like open plaza area. And this was definitely something that the vast majority of people never actually got. I had Judgment! Oh. So I know for a fact the online client does work right now. That's the big thing, is that it does work. And it works without DNS settings being changed as well, so really cool to have that be available. I am filming at a slightly weird time, so I guess the novelty of it being back online is sort of not really being shown here, so that's really more on me. But it does work. And it's cool to see all these early era PS3 games being displayed. And like this was the thing, right? The context is when they were talking about this during GDC, which is a game developers conference, right? It's not necessarily, even back then, way more so back then than nowadays. But they were definitely speaking to an audience that was developers, and there was the upside for monetizing. And so the demo is heavily focused on, here's all the product placement you can do. Here's these banners where, again, more product placement and tie-in, and game developers can offer baked in, add-ons and t-shirts and things like that, right? It was very much trying to get across how you can monetize the platform, because Home was being proposed as a service, not a game, not even at all a game. But these banners here are so cool. Play Beyond and Cell Processor, wicked smart with the Rubik's Cube. God, this is so me. This GDC space is so like Ryan coded. I love that early first 2 years of PlayStation 3 with the bizarre ad campaigns. Oh my god. Okay. So I wonder what else in here does work, or what would even show anything for that matter. It is still cool to have the PSP in game properly. Good old PSP 1000. See my purchases. There are none. No messages. PSP skins. We can just change the background of our PSP with a very generic looking XMB. We can do a black one. Black XMB waves. I'm a big fan of that. The way we like it. We can also change the PSP color itself. But you know me, I like to keep it classic. We can change pop-up colors too. We can change the sound, chat windows, and virtual keyboard. Oh, are the dances the same? That's the big question. Yup. Casual. Alright, what else we have? Alright. Robot. Yep. Classic. Rave. Yeah, that was definitely one of them. People doing that. Chain swings going off, you know what I'm saying? So no running, man. That's a shame. Damn. Alright, let's check out the game space. Alright, cool. Now the other neat thing during the GDC demo, and I imagine because this is the same build, yeah, you immediately go into it. It's pretty fast. which is very neat. You can start braking right away. Are you sure you want to quit this game? Yes, you're out pretty quickly. Not to say it wasn't like an easy in and out kind of thing when the public beta launched, the closed and public beta, but you could tell it was a little bit more snappy in this much more closed off environment. And that's kind of what this was. I mean, that's why they saw, well, from this to the wide release, you got an entirely different space, drop in resolution, but Home saw a lot of iterations. That's the other quick history lesson. It was supposed to have actually more cartoony looking characters, almost like a Hot Shots in a way, but Sony was going for a more grounded, realistic look, and with that came a performance head. I'm pretty sure a lot of these arcade games like Evac did make it into the final build as well, but same thing, you can get into this pretty quickly. Yeah, these games are like ready to go. Another famous GDC part where I forget who was playing the game because Phil was moderating the entire thing, but yeah, they kept like blowing up on the side.
So while you can play this simple little game, while you can play this really simple little game, you can also bring up the virtual...
God, I did not like any of these top-down racers. I could not stand top-down racing games like this. These were so hard to play. It just was. These are just not fun to me at all. I kind of liked the Pixel Junk Racers approach where you're on rails and you just pick certain lanes that you want to be in, and there's like... from that point, you try to avoid other drivers or any other sort of road hazards, and you can see the whole track as you're racing. That's the other thing about PlayStation Home, you know? By the time it went to a full release and you had either these little mini games or the more fleshed out games that were still not good, like there's no sugarcoating it, it wasn't good. None of those games were at all remotely, in my view, enjoyable. But depending on who you ask, if you were a hardcore Home user, like that's the content that was there, and that's the kind of content you enjoyed because it was there. But I always reminisce about the PlayStation Home documentary that we did, and it was always so fascinating hearing people talk about how much they liked playing Home or referring to Home as a game when it's clearly not a game. But it was a really fascinating thing hearing so many from the community and talking with them about it. And here's another cool thing. So I can get right into bowling. Bowling's pretty quick. Within like mere seconds, I can start gearing this bad boy up, going for a strike. Oh, I got a mad spin on that. Hold on, let me try again. Right down the middle. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, I got a strike, I can leave. Pretty small little gaming area. Nothing too crazy. Alright, let's check out the theater. This is cool. It really does feel like a theater, too. Although a really nice high-end theater. Mine, my local theaters did not look quite like this. Monster House, and then Casino Royale. That's the thing too, like a lot of that stuff just sort of, it's like there's so many things that are synonymous with me in those first few years of PlayStation 3. It's like Casino Royale is one of them. Because that's the other thing too, right? That was the novelty of PS3. That was the way you justified that very expensive purchase as the Blu-ray player. And so a lot of those like initial Blu-ray releases, like you always think of things like Casino Royale, or if you're a real OG, you're Talladega Nights, Ricky Bobby, because that was something all North American PlayStation 3s came with a copy with. I still have mine. Resident Evil, Superbad, yep, Casino Royale, Spider-Man 3, and Ghost Rider, and have some more game posters up here. Which one do we want to go to? I mean Spider-Man 3, of course, right? And then bam. Literally just sit in the theater and watch it this way. It looks so bad. What a way to watch a movie. Alright, well I think we kind of get the idea. It seemed like the other section had game trailers, so we'll go look at those. Oh, it didn't have... Oh, it's just different... Oh, no, there's game trailers. Motorstorm. So, Pineapple Express, Surf's Up, Step Brothers, Hancock, Motorstorm. And that's also pretty much everything. So, It's still really cool, though. It's amazing to be experiencing this and exploring it, and it works, and it's actually online. So you could definitely talk it up with people. They've actually also got the setup to where it's completely open source, so you can actually build your own home server if you want to just do your own little private thing with a handful of your friends. But it is just so neat to see this like restored in such a manner where it looks and plays and for the most part still works, right? Like it's not completely broken. Like it's really interesting to have it available like this, and it's so important to have these kind of things archived. Let's try and actually make me. And by make me, I mean get much whiter. Oh yeah, this too. This was always... It's great. Like I remember these UI options so well. Face, depth, and scale. Jaw. Okay, I'm definitely not chiseled. I do have more of a round face, I have to say. I do have a chin. I feel like my eyes are fairly normal. Nose. I do got a big nose. I do have a big nose. My mouth's not that big either. Okay, definitely dark. The second option's monobrow. Alright, this is already starting to look a little bit more like me. Alright. There's me. Alright, now I need to change my clothes. This is terrible. Alright, well I don't wear anything on my head. What are the options though? Just some beanies? And bucket hats? I mean, it's not like I do wear basic white tees. I'm wearing like more of a maroon right now. Oh, there's the SingStar and Heavenly Sword shirts. Yep, so that was also, he mentioned that right during the GDC talk.
Specific to your character. Here we have a SingStar t-shirt, or we can have a Heavenly Sword t-shirt once you buy the game.
Pretty okay options, nothing too crazy. I kind of look insane. Look at this Johnny Knoxville type look. I do wear black jeans like almost on the daily. Oh, and I do have some, yeah, I got some skinnies. I do rock skinnies. I'm classic millennial. I mean, I probably should have made my character before I explored, but, you know. Alright, there's me. Early PS3 fan with my Heavenly Sword shirt, admiring my MotorStorm poster, and my katanas.